And good evening from top of the river here in Anniston, where we've finally got a touch of fall in the air, fellas. It feels like football weather for sure. This is FNN's Tuesday night high school football coaches show from the Catfish capital here of our part of the state of Alabama for sure. Top of the river. We're glad to have everyone with us tonight. And we appreciate everybody watching and telling friends about the show. And, the way this thing has grown over the last 5 or 6 years has just been incredible. Almost as much as, our Game of the Week audience. But, just glad to have you here with us as we hit the home stretch and start filling in blanks and brackets and talking about what ifs and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not sure that there's a better time of the year than right now when some things are still to be determined, guys. And, some things we know and some things we think we know won't come out the way we thought they would. So it's just a fun time of the year. Jim Jacobs to my right, Joe Medley from EA Sports Today, and the voice of the Game of the Week, James Hardy, is here with us. And before we get into talking about football for sure, we want to give a big thumbs-up shout-out to our main man, Jackson New.
Without questions, totally proud of him for how he stepped up.
Had to fill in for Eddie this past Friday night. The coach was up in, was it Kentucky?
That's right.
He was going to Kentucky.
God's country.
Yeah. Had to do a little family duty, right?
That's right.
Walking, I think, was it a granddaughter?
I believe it was.
Yeah, down the aisle for some school function or something like that. But anyway, Eddie's back in town, so he'll have the telestrator at finger's length come Friday night when we head over to Odenville for another big football game. Second place in 5A Region 6 as the St. Clair County Saints host the Jacksonville Golden Eagles. We'll talk more about that as the show progresses. But let's start out with we've all decided this has been the game of the year. So far, Cherokee County at Alexandria, the battle for the belt this past Friday night. And, boy, Lou Scales was rocking. That's all I can say.
Look. Ever since I started doing football games with you, Jim, 5 seasons ago, that in my mind was the gold standard as far as atmospheres that we've been part of. And as far as doing high school football games in this state for longer than that, I don't think I could have found, especially big games like we had Friday, a better atmosphere. And we could have gone around the entire state Friday night and not found a better atmosphere than what we had at Death Valley.
Okay, Mr. Reporter, your thoughts on the atmosphere?
Well, the atmosphere was great. I was even more impressed with the play. There were great plays by really good high school players in that game, but there was also some great coaching. And Jacob Kelly obviously caught up with the fact that Alexandria had an injury on defense with Ryan Brown and went to that wildcat formation and kept going to that spot and going to that spot and going to that spot, and Alexandria couldn't stop that. And then Todd Ginn, coming through with the 2-point conversion call, knowing that he probably wouldn't be able to stop them in overtime. He's like, okay, we got a chance to win right now. We're going to do it now.
And, that takes a lot of guts. I mean,
even when your name is Ginn at Alexandria.
Absolutely, because there's always armchair quarterbacks on the top row at every football stadium. And I'm sure some folks were scratching their heads because they had not figured out what Jacob Kelly had figured out and Todd had reacted to. So, congratulations to both teams for just a hell of a football game.
Without question, a lot on the line. And just you also look at as far as you mentioned what the job Coach Ginn did Friday night. Let's not forget 2 years ago, they had to pick up their first win and only win in 2023 in the very last week of the season. But they've been able to build their program back up to get it to where they expect it to be, really.
Alexandria standards.
Yeah, and the game Friday night might just be chapter 1.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And in fact, when we study brackets and stuff, there's a good chance we're going to see that game again in round 3 at Alexandria, and then possibly the winner of that game at Anniston the following week for the state semifinals to go to the Super 7 at Protective Stadium the first week in December.
But, I mean, just the game, the atmosphere, for us, you couldn't ask for much more.
You know what the crowd meter is at Alexandria, though? Did they run out of Valley Dogs?
Yeah, I didn't ask.
Well, I mean, it's happened before. When we were there for the Leeds game 2 years ago, they ran out of Valley Dogs. I mean, it was so. We pull into most stadiums we go to do a football game around 12 o'clock because it takes that long to get cables pulled and everything connected and tested and all that kind of good stuff. But when we pulled into that place Friday night, the top row where you can set your portable seating, I mean, all the way around was full. I mean, people had already claimed their spot. It was just that kind of football game, and it was a joy for us to go do. I mean, we enjoyed the heck out of it. We're fans like everybody else when we're doing it, and we have the luxury of being able to look at replays and things like that, and our camera guys do such a great job framing all that up for us, and it's a lot of fun. Well, let's talk about what's on tap here tonight. We've got 3 great programs that will be joining us. Jake will throw the slate up. We'll run through them real quick. Coach Steve Smith is here from Westbrook Christian. That's kind of weird to say, but we're getting used to it. It's been, 3 years now, I think?
That's right.
Yeah, 3 years. A very happy Jonathan Nix will be joining us with Pleasant Valley, and our player of the week from the Raiders, Braxton Salster. I think I said that right. He knocked out just 5 touchdowns in that big win this past Friday night against North Sand Mountain. So, we'll have them here. And this is their second visit to the show this year. And also on tap, the folks from Go Garden Go. Spring Garden is here tonight, Coach Barrett Ragsdale and the Garden. And I think they brought almost everybody from town. I'm, looking up there to see that big crowd on the back table. But anyway, all of those folks are here with us, and we're going to get started with our first guest of the evening when we continue here from the top of the river on the Friday Night Network.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
Welcome to Calhoun County, Alabama, your natural attraction. We have invigorating outdoor activities, amazing cultural sites, mouth-watering food, and southern hospitality, all wrapped into one amazing vacation destination. Whether you're looking for a relaxing overnight getaway or for a one-of-a-kind escapade, Calhoun County boasts an incredible selection of outdoor recreational opportunities. Calhoun County is the natural attraction, centrally located between Atlanta and Birmingham, with plenty of fun and memories waiting to be made. Come to Calhoun County, Alabama, a natural attraction.
And welcome back to the FNN Tuesday Night High School Football Coaches Show. We're live at Top of the River. Jim Jacobs, Joe Medley from EA Sports Today. And to my left, the head football coach of the Spring Garden Panthers, Barrett Ragsdale. And, Coach, first off, thanks for driving down, and hopefully the meal and the company is worth it.
Oh, for sure. We appreciate the invite. We look forward to coming down here. We've been fortunate you've invited the last couple of years. We've came down here one night and I enjoyed the food and fellowship, and y'all always do a great job.
Well, it's hard not to enjoy the food here.
Definitely. Even if you don't eat catfish.
It might even make him grow some hair.
Well,
All right, let's talk about your season so far. Are you happy at 6-3? I mean, I know you don't want to lose a game, but given what you have on the roster and all of that kind of stuff, what kind of season's it been?
right. I felt like I've said this a lot this year, and not making excuses or anything, but we do have a young football team. Early on, especially preseason, people. Every time somebody would ask a question, whether newspaper or whatever it was, Coach, y'all lost 12 seniors last year. I've answered that quite a few times, and so we did. We lost a lot, and out of those 12 seniors, we lost 5 all-state football players, and so I think we was returning 2 starters on both sides of the football. So sitting here 6-3 at this point in the season, I feel like 5 or 6 plays. We're sitting here with 1 loss. I'm really proud of this group, the way that they responded, and we had a lot of kids obviously that stepped into some roles and were able to keep us going in the right direction. So I'm very proud of this group and what they've accomplished this year. Come short of our goal of winning the region. I mean that was our goal from the get-go, and that's what this group of seniors set. We didn't accomplish that. But we secured us a place in the playoffs with a 3rd seed. Going to have to travel the first round.
Right.
And so we start that 2nd season here in a few weeks, and hope we can make a little push there.
Well, now you've got an open week this week, and then you finish out the season on the road down at Ranburne. And you guys have had some wars over the years for sure with Ranburne. But what do you get to do between now and November 7th that is going to help you be successful with a playoff run?
Well, this week I think it's about getting us back to close to 100% as we can. When you play physical football, this time of year after playing 9 games, we're banged up, we're bruised up. So this is a great week to hit the ice bath and get back in the weight room a little extra, and maybe go back to the drawing board in some areas that people's going to have 9 or 10 films on us to get the playoffs. People's got a lot of film, so maybe go back and look at some of our tendencies and see what we can improve about ourselves before that playoff game. And I've told the kids next week, going to Ranburne, it's a nice little drive from Spring Garden, so we need to attack that like it's a playoff game. We're looking at close to about a 3-hour drive.
Yep, it's
that
a haul.
first round, so it is a haul.
There was a time not so long ago when getting to the playoffs, maybe getting deeper into the playoffs, it was a step, a progress step at Spring Garden. And now you're at a place where there have been a lot of double-digit win seasons, and even in a time when you lose 12 seniors, here you are, 6-3 in a playoff team. Just what does that say about what's developed there?
Well, that we have been fortunate. This is year 16 for me at Spring Garden, and we have been very fortunate over that time to have some really good ball players come through and had some really good teams. And when you lose a lot, it says a lot about the standard that's set forth for your returning kids. I know that they feel like they got to hold the line, hold the rope, and kind of pick up the slack. And so that's what this group has done this year. And it started last November. Just that mentality. Of course, they heard it. They heard it for 6 or 7 months that, oh, y'all lost 12. It's going to be rough for you next year. I hope y'all can win a game. And I mean, that's just this group. This group has let that fuel them. And I've told them. I told them starting in November last year, I said, you're going to get tired of me reminding you. You're going to get tired of me telling you, but people's telling you, let that fuel you.
Yeah.
Just bring it in here and go to work. And you can change who you are as a player in the weight room over that time period. And this group, young group, took that to heart, and I've been really proud of their effort this year on the football field.
Well, now, if my memory serves me correctly, Spring Garden goes as how many Welches you have on the roster.
We have had quite a few of those over here.
So how many you got this year?
Zero.
Okay. But you guys have had such a success up there recently, and your place is such a fun place to come go to a football game. I mean, there's nothing else to do up there on a Friday night except come to the football game.
Oh, and hey, we do. We are super proud of our stadium and
great facility.
The
Absolutely.
facilities that we have for a 1A football program is just second to none. And you come out there on Friday night and You see the support that we've got from our small community. The stands are full. Just that they come out and support your kids and anything that we do at Spring Garden. So that's been a very big part of our success over the years.
Seems like lately, too, every time you have a game, somebody's there getting some kind of championship ring.
Well, yeah, that is not a bad problem either. They do fill the voids in the halftime. So
I remember you took over in the summer of 23 for Jason, and after years and years of being a coordinator there, and now you're in your third year as a head coach, what do you feel like? How are you different now than you were 3 years ago?
Well, definitely just like anything else when you take over, there's things I did in my first year that in my third year I know not to do, and which sometimes I'm a slow learner on some things. Some of my assistant coaches and kids probably think, well, we should learn a little bit faster on some things. So, but yeah, it don't seem like it's a third year, it goes by fast.
When you have a young team like you do right now, I was basically told this by the GOAT over here, Steve Smith. When you get to go multiple rounds in the playoffs with a young crew like that, you get all those extra practices that you don't get if you don't make the playoffs, and that goes a long way toward developing the program.
It's funny that you said that because that's what I mentioned today. And that's one of the things that helped us this year to be able to bridge that gap of losing so many veterans is these guys have gotten those extra practices over the last, like these seniors over the last 3 years have had, 6 or so extra practices, extending the playoffs. So people don't think about that a whole lot. This time of year, you get to pull up some younger kids from junior high and get them some experience on varsity and some of those practices. So, yeah, that is a big thing to be able to get some of that extra work in.
Well, until Steve basically schooled me there, I did not even think about that being that big of a deal, but I can see now how much it really matters.
Let's talk about some of those kids that stepped in for you this year, starting with Brady Brewer, quarterback, and what he's brought to the table.
I think last Friday Brady surpassed 1,000 yards rushing, a little bit over 1,100 this year. So he has been toting the ball for us. And the big thing about Brady is jumping into the quarterback position is he's been able to get in there and get all the ducks in a row and make sure everybody – because, look, we run a million formations. And him jumping in there this year and being able to put everybody in their place and being a leader in the huddle, that's really huge. And, Clayton Sadler's been in the backfield for several years now. He started on defense for me as a freshman at linebacker. He's been in the backfield. He's been injured this year and has missed, I think he's missed 3 games. And you got senior Zane Edwards. You don't see him on the stat sheet a whole lot, so I like to brag on him as much as I can because he's kind of our hammer in the backfield. We run behind him, and we have a lot of success, and those yards that Brady's got is a lot behind him. Got Ben Baker, who's a sophomore. He's right there. He keeps doing what he's been doing. He's going to be our second 1,000-yard rusher. He's right there close to 900 right now. Across the front, I could go through and name a lot of people. Got our defensive front, Colton Driscoll's been there at nose guard for a while. Bryant Williams has been playing really strong. Another sophomore. Brody Lemons on the line. Zach Scoggins played center for us. This is his third year starting for us at center, so he's been an anchor for our offensive line. And, when you go to naming kids, I'm sitting here just trying to pop kids and names. I mean, look, at bottom line, you get 11 people out there, and I feel like the 11 that we've had on the field have done exactly what we've asked them to do. And you might not see their names, on the stat sheet, but I just feel like the effort. I've never questioned these kids' effort this year. We may have been outsized or, out-athleted, but I haven't left a game on Friday night and thought, I don't think we gave maximum effort tonight.
Yeah, well, that's a good place to be because the more times you do that, the more they grow up, and the main thing is you guys are playing in November.
So I tell them, we didn't win the region. We lost that golfer sheet, but look, you get to go in that second season. It's 0-0.
Yep.
You play one Friday night at a time.
All right, Coach, who'd you bring with us for the show tonight?
Well, I brought Zane
You
Edwards.
brought half the town.
Well, yeah, I figured this was a good excuse to feed some of them tonight. So I got Zane Edwards with me. I got Brady Ruart, and I brought Clayton Sadler with me as well. So those are the 3 guys that I brought with me.
Well, how about we get out of the way and let James come in and spend some time with those three young men, and we again appreciate you coming down, and best of luck in the playoffs.
All right, well, I appreciate what y'all do, and thanks for having us on.
Thanks, Coach. Barrett Ragsdale of the Spring Garden Panthers. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with the players right after this on FNN.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos. At Griffin Laser Engraving, we make it the way you want it. Order just one or hundreds, and you'll find a full line of Yeti coolers and accessories on hand, even the hard-to-find items. Nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items, Griffin Laser Engraving.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
And we return to Top of the River here on the FNN Coaches Show as we're winding our way down a little bit closer to the finish line up until we get to the first round of the postseason. James Hardy with you as we return here on the FNN Coaches Show. As we continue our spotlight of the Spring Garden Panthers as they come in off of a couple of big region wins to officially punch their ticket into the postseason. A 28-14 win at Eider, as we have a trio of Panthers joining us here up on stage as Zane Edwards, Brady Ruark, and Clayton Sadler with us. A big thanks for all three of you for joining us this evening. Let's start with you, Zane. Just kind of talk about, at least before we reviewed last week, this is a week off for y'all before you have your final regular season game coming up. Kind of tell us about how the season's gone for y'all so far.
It's going really good for us right now. I mean, I wish we could have picked those region games up better and, played harder. I wish we could have just went back and did a little bit of things different and just been better off.
And let's bring you in, Bray, as far as just talk about the season. But I know a lot of transition as far as losing a lot of key contributors from the last couple of years. But hey, you're still in the postseason, a solid 6-3 mark coming in. Just kind of tell us just how the season's gone so far.
Like Zane said, we'd probably, if we could, go back and change some things that we did wrong. Just a few things, it'd have been nice if we could have picked up those region games.
But as far as just what do you think, kind of talk about as well how you think, or at least some of the improvement, maybe some of the area that y'all have seen the most improvement on so far this year?
I mean, we've got better every week. Our offense is getting a lot better, just running plays and stuff. We've been real consistent throughout weeks going through offense, and our line's been doing good, stuff like that.
Let's get Clayton in. A week off after at least the first 9 games consecutively. Does this off week come at a good time?
Yeah, I think so. I think, crap, this is messing me up.
We'll get this figured out. There you go.
Ask your question again if you could.
you've played in 9 weeks in a row, 6-3 to start the season. Does having an off weekend the next to final week of the regular season come at a good time?
Oh yeah, I think having this off week is a really good thing. I think it lets you recover a lot because obviously whenever you play in 9 games, I mean your body's taking a beating throughout them whole 9 weeks. So I mean I think it's really good to be able to sit back and kind of rest. I mean obviously we're still working. We're working on ourselves. That's what Coach Rags has been preaching. Is this is for us. We're not planning for nobody else right now. We're working on us right now, working on mental states, and we're just trying to better us and recover from some injuries and stuff that we've had.
And Zane, I know you kind of, at least I got the sense as far as just the standard that y'all build, what y'all expect as far as going at each and every week to win. But still, I imagine coming off solid win at Eider last week to get into the playoffs, I still imagine good to be able to know, hey, that when you go into that final regular season game next Friday, that, hey, no matter what happens, we still have football ahead of us in the postseason.
Yes, sir.
Talk about what, as far as just for you, what do you think as far as just your journey this season as a football player, what's as far as just maybe how you've gotten better as far as a football player?
I just really learned how to be a leader and coach these guys up to, listen to the coaches and buy in completely and work hard. Spring Garden is a really good place to be when you want people to be tough and just learn how to work through and work as a team.
And then kind of describe the identity that you've seen out of this football team this year.
I got a lot of guys on my team that are just, they really will take a beating. They won't quit. If you look at us compared to other teams, you can look at the other team and be like, man, they're going to kill you, But we just come in and we really bring it to them first,
As far as that toughness, describe as far as in your eyes, who's the toughest player on the football team?
We got a bunch of tough guys, but overall, I know Clayton, he gets hurt a lot, but he's pretty tough. He's come back from some hard injuries. But we got some guys that are real tough, but there's really no one that stands out for us. All of us are tough.
Go back to this past Friday night, a 28-14 win at Eider. Just what went well for y'all this past Friday?
Well, at first we couldn't really get anything going in the first half. And then we came out second half pretty hot. And then our defense started playing real well. And then we had some big stops on fourth down. We had a fumble from our guy, Ben Baker. And then we stopped them a couple times on fourth down, and that really helped us in the fourth quarter, third quarter.
I want to go back to the transition as well to all of you because I know, of course, Jacob, John Welsh, big part of the program the last several seasons. Really kind of for y'all a season in transition. But just what's the message been from Coach Ragsdale and the coaches from the start of fall practice up to now as far as just trying to get y'all to where y'all need to get to at this point in the season?
Yeah, I know. We lost a lot of seniors last year, 12 I think it was. It's hard coming from that, but we just told ourselves we got to prove everybody wrong because everybody thought, oh, you lose 12 seniors, it's going to be a down year. But no, we've worked hard throughout the summer, throughout the season. We've got better every week, so I think we're doing pretty good.
Let's get Clayton back in. Talk about the support that the community has brought to y'all this year.
Well, I mean, I think we've had pretty good support overall. Just in away games, like even at the big Appalachian game, like that, we've always had a bunch of fans show up. I feel like even though we go to a pretty far away game, I feel like we're almost like still at home because of how many people still there for us. And they've always just been there to like kind of keep us up because they know losing a bunch of people kind of can put you down in a bad situation. So they've kind of just helped us to overcome that by supporting us in many ways.
But when you look at it in the big picture, though, your ticket to the postseason's been punched. Mm-hmm. Your goals are really still very much ahead of you as far as what y'all want to do in the playoffs. Just kind of talk about as far as just, especially with an off week, what the coaches want y'all to get accomplished and maybe improve upon going in to the postseason.
Well, a lot of things we need to improve on. I mean, our effort has been one big thing that he's always talked about. I feel like we've had pretty good effort for the most part, but that's one thing I feel like we can still up a little bit, and our intensity. Like sometimes we'll come out dead, like this past week at Ider. I feel like we just dead. We didn't have much of nothing going, so that's one thing we're trying to improve and just learn to have fun, and then we just being more like consistent on offense, like not missing blocks, being able to, like me as a running back, being able to hit my right hole or being more patient, waiting for the hole to open up. Just little small stuff that can make big gains.
And Zane, finally, as far as any players that have really impressed you as far as the steps they've taken from the start of the year to now?
Brady really hadn't had a lot of minutes on varsity, and he stepped up really good, and he's been a leader, and he showed everybody that we can come in and we can make a really good run in the playoffs.
Zane Edwards, Brady Ruark, and Clayton Sadler, a big thanks to all three of you for joining us. Enjoy your off week, and certainly best of luck as far as your final regular season game and in the postseason.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
Still a lot more to go here on the F&N Coaches Show from Top of the River, Westbrook Christian, and also Pleasant Valley. And, of course, courtesy of our friends from Talladega Short Track, our Player of the Week still to come here on the F&N Coaches Show.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns, locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
Welcome back to the Tuesday Night Coaches Show here from Top of the River in Anniston. Jim Jacobs, Joe Medley. We return to the table with the head football coach of the Westbrook Warriors, Coach Steve Smith. And I still have a hard time saying that. You know, if I don't see you in bright blue and I mean, it's just, you know, and I'm sure the people that knew you when you were doing Cedar Bluff probably thought the same thing when you moved to Piedmont. You've been around a while, Coach.
Been around a long time, that's for sure.
It's been a week, I know, but 300, you got your 300th win, and how has that kind of settled in on you, and how have you thought about that?
Well, I mean, it's obviously something that has been the culmination of a lot of people's work and a lot of people's efforts. Had a lot of people that sent well wishes and congratulations, and I certainly appreciated all that. I tell everybody the first thing it indicates you've been doing it for a long time. had to be doing it for a long time, and then I've just been so fortunate, guys, with the places I worked at Cedar Bluff, at Piedmont, and at Westbrook Christian, with outstanding administrations. You know, people that backed you, and communities and booster clubs that love football, loved athletics, but love football in particular. And then, you know, just having those faculties that supported you and worked with you with your players, and then fans that traveled, you know, to all the games, home and away. But the biggest thing, just loyal assistant coaches, people that were good men that wanted to invest into making life better for a lot of young men through the sport of football. And then the number one ingredient, any coach will tell you, was great players. And, man, I've been blessed to have a lot of great players over the years.
Yes, you have.
And just so fortunate to be able to be around all those people. And, you know, I cherish every single memory that I have with those kids and those coaches and those communities. And it's just been a blast for me. I still love what I'm doing.
You know, that was one of the things I wanted to ask you tonight, Steve, is obviously you've been very, very successful doing what you do, and you're very good at it. What's the motivation in it for you now versus 15 years ago?
Well, I just still love it. You know, I've often said that this profession, I feel like it's a calling. It's you got to want to love kids, and you got to want to help kids, and that part of it has never changed. I've often felt like that this was what the Lord put me on the earth to do, is be able to impact young people, and just doing it through the sport of football is something that I've been blessed to have the opportunity to do, and I still love it the same way right now in 2025 as I did in 2000, as I did in 95 when I first started at Cedar Bluff. Got a lot of energy to hopefully be able to see us build something special at Westbrook Christian, and got a lot of buy-in there from the community and the school and the kids all the way down through the youth league. And I'm having a great time trying to see if we can get it going at Westbrook. Where
are things in year 3 at Westbrook compared to year 3 at Piedmont, year 3 at Cedar Bluff? Just how far do you feel like you've gotten to where you want to be?
I think it's really similar, and I've said this all the time. Of course, I'm an advocate for coaches, and I'm an advocate for young coaches. I'm an advocate for older coaches. I watch a lot of people, Joe, that seem to be changing coaches every 3 years. I mean, there's probably 20 schools within a 50-mile radius of where we're sitting right now that have changed coaches numerous times in the last 10 years. And, you know, communities, schools, administrations just don't have patience with coaches anymore to be able to allow them to build something. And part of that's coaches are trying to jump from job to job as well, and are not really wanting to plant their boots right there in the community. But, you know, it's very difficult to build a program in 2 or 3 years. Mm-hmm. And you see a lot of these same places, they're trying it again every 3 years, and they can't figure out, you know, what's going on, why they can't get it rolling. And continuity and consistency that you got right there in the program is so critical. And I think there's something to be said for those places that will give a coach 5-6 years to try to implement what they're wanting to do from the middle school level on up. And if, you know, 5 or 6 years you're not seeing any progress, then by all means, you know, go out and make another change. But I really think it's just so unfair to try to give people 2 or 3 years to get it righted in the right direction, and especially if they got somebody right down the road that they're comparing them to. I think it's about impossible for a coach to go in. The first year when you go in, it doesn't really matter what the kids are like. That new coach is really not going to be those kids' coach. I mean, he's on the sideline with them, but I just use my situation at Westbrook Christian. I got there June the 1st on the job. By Halloween, October 31st, those kids that were seniors, they knew me for 5 months. They knew me through the summer, and they knew me for 3 months of football. They didn't really know me very well, and I didn't know them that well. We tried to make it, and look, they were great kids. I'm not saying anything negative about them. They were great kids. They tried to do everything we asked them to do. But the trust factor on what we were doing versus what they had been doing prior to my arrival, they were still trying to figure me out, and I was trying to figure them out. There wasn't really that much of an off-season program where you got to know each other, and we tried to learn it on the fly, and it takes some time. And the next year, last year's senior class, well, I had a year and 5 months with them. This year's senior class, I've had 2 years and 5 months with them. So I just think it takes some time for that relationship between coaches and players to evolve to where there's complete buy-in from everybody. Coaches buying in with the players, players buying into the coaches. And you always got those skeptics that are out there thinking, well, this is just going to be a 1 or 2 year type deal. And, it really, if you really have the I guess the goal or the ambition to build something, you have to be willing to put your roots down and be there for a while and see it through.
One thing you have in year 3 is a third-year starting quarterback. And when I saw Brody Blevins play against Piedmont, I thought that's a third-year Steve Smith quarterback right there. And talk about how he's developed.
Well, he's developed a lot. Now, he actually, for us, the first year, he actually started at free safety. If you go back and look, kind of my historical background, Jack actually started 4 years at quarterback there at Piedmont, but most of the quarterbacks at Piedmont, before they played quarterback, they played defense. Taylor played 2 years. Mason Mohan played a year of defense. Tyler Luss played defense before quarterback. Chris Stripe played defense before quarterback. And part of that was intentional because we were trying. Cardavian played, before quarterback, he played defense. Part of it was if they were playing in the secondary, let's just say, or linebacker, they were learning things from the defense's perspective. So when they came over to quarterback the next year, they already kind of understood what quarterbacks were thinking because they had been doing it the year before from the other side. And so when we got to Westbrook Christian, Brody had been the middle school quarterback, and obviously a very talented kid, but he was one of the most aggressive guys we had, so we played him at safety with kind of that same mindset. I didn't really tell him that, but he played safety for the varsity on Friday nights, and then he would play quarterback some for us on Monday nights in the JV games as a freshman, just to get some experience. But he's a competitor, and that's the best thing I can say about him. He leads by example. He's hard-nosed. He's tough. He does things the right way, and he's been a great leader for our football team.
How much joy, or I don't know, it might be just part of your passion for the game, but where do you find the satisfaction in, you serve on some statewide boards, I think, for the game, and where do you find the joy in doing that, where you might have a word in shaping the game across the state?
Well, I don't never take it lightly that people have put me in some positions to help make some decisions for the game of football because, let's just face it, football has been under attack for the last 15 or 20 years. Rule changes, participation numbers going down, all the stuff out there about injuries and things, it's not been promoted too positively in the last 20 years or so. We started Alabama Football Coaches Association 20 years ago in 2005 and been a member of that ever since, serve on that board, and our whole ambition is not to hurt any other sport but try to positively promote football in the state of Alabama because obviously you go to any community in Alabama and it's a big deal. And we understand all the great things that can happen for young men through this sport and the lessons that can be learned and the things that can be taught. We just want to protect the game. We want to see the game be there. I've got a son that's in coaching. I want him to be able to enjoy the game of football and coaching football and hopefully making a difference in young people's lives the same way that we've been given the opportunity to do it. So being able to speak up for football and speak out for it, I'm all about the safety part. We're all about trying to learn more about how to better train players and take care of them. But the things that this game offers, there's not many things out there that young teenage boys can do anymore to promote hard work, teamwork, self-sacrifice, all those things that being a part of a team allows them to do and in the sport of football because it's tough, it's hard, but we think it does a great job of helping prepare those young men for life.
Steve, why do you think society has such a hard time seeing what to me is so freaking obvious of what football does for young men?
Well, because we're soft, Joe. Or Jim, excuse me. We want to make everything equal for everybody. We want everybody to have an equal share in this. We want everything to be equal, and that's not really how life works.
No.
The people that work the hardest get the most, and the people that achieve the most are typically the people that pour more into it. And I just think we live in a time now where we want everything to be equal, everything to just be accepted, everything just to be this, and football's a hard sport. It's hard to play, but the rewards are great. The people that are willing to pay the price are the ones that reap the rewards from it. And I think it's something that we don't need to diminish. We don't need to overlook the hard work and the effort that these guys put in for all these teams that's here, not only tonight but in our area. The young men, the sacrifices they're making to be part of a football team, because those are going to be the people. To be honest with you, I want those people to be the people that marry my daughter. I want those people taking care of my daughter. I want them being the people that are out there on the front lines when people need to stand up for the right things. I think that's the place to find some natural leaders.
Along the lines of statewide things, there was a meeting last week in Montgomery. I assume Westbrook had some people there. Maybe you were there?
I was.
What's your sense of what the issues are between the whole private school, public school divide, and what common ground things can be achieved there?
Well, there's no secret about it. I mean, you go all the way back to when the multiplier was implemented, I think in 1999, there was already the movement at that point in time to try to level the playing ground. There's long been a perception that the private schools have advantages, and I go back to my time at Piedmont in the early 2010 to 15 range. I mean, there was a private school that won a bunch of state championships that kept Piedmont from being in those games, and I was probably one of the most outspoken persons out there about the unfair advantages that seem to be following private schools. And now I'm working at one, and I try to see things through clear glasses about some advantages that might be at a private school, but I can tell you there's certain advantages at public schools as well, and there's certain things that go on at public schools that can't happen at private schools, things that can happen at private schools that can't go on at public schools. Until you just look at all the facts on it, there's not really a clear one way or the other. But the big thing that's really going on right now, because there's enough people in the legislators' ears about the problems that's going on in their particular area, and those people are trying to represent their constituents, I guess. And I'm fearful that we're going to see some type of intervention at some point in time, and I think that's really a bad idea, because I think the AHSA being run by its member schools is still the best way to do it. I think there's a lot bigger problems out there government-wise to handle than who's running AHSAA, but it seems to me that we're on a collision course with something being done, whether it's a separation of public and private, whether it's a different way of counting kids at private schools, whether it's a different way of counting kids in public schools that have open enrollment. I think there's some major changes coming. I don't know if it's in the next year, next 5 years, next 10. I don't really know, but it don't seem that we can get a lot of people on the same page about what's right for the overall well-being of high school sports in our state, and that's what's so sad, because everybody their opinion is usually triggered by how it affects them, how it affects their school or their area or their group of people. And I just told them, I said, even from the private school sector, JCA's problems are not Westbrook Christian's problems, and our problems are not the same as McGill-Tulane, and they're not the same as Madison Academy or Mobile Christian. It's just, when you just say private schools, there's a whole different set of parameters that people that operate in Mobile or Montgomery and have 250, 300,000 population to draw from versus Rainbow City population of 4,000. So it's very hard to put everything into one big box and say this is the main problem. Mm-hmm. And I don't envy Mr. Harmon at all, because I think he's done a really good job in his first year of trying to crack down on what everybody in the state said was the number one issue, which was the transfers. He's made it a point to make that his main objective, is try to fix the transfer issue. And I don't think there's any man in the state that argues that that's not a problem. And but you got all the other stuff going on the outside and the factors that are influencing people, and it's just I don't know. It's one of those contests that I don't know if there's going to be a winner in it.
But Steve, isn't it going to be hard to fix it when the board kind of keeps tilting every year because of other things that are going on?
Well, they have some good plans in the works for things that they felt like they could do to promote some equity on some issues. But as you said, just about the time it gets ready to make a move on fixing a particular issue, another issue pops up, and when that pops up, then you're defending yourself in court against this lawsuit or whatever, and it's just it's a situation where I don't know that we can't get out of this infinite loop right here of just people fussing and arguing about this ain't fair or that ain't fair or this needs to be done, because you poll anybody in the state of Alabama and they're going to give you all the things that they think is wrong, and you might be able to Band-Aid fix one of those problems, but then you're going to create 2 more problems on the side. Several of the things that have been done here in the last few. I mean, I'll use this. I know we don't have time to talk about all the issues, but a few years back, a rule was passed that if you didn't make a bona fide move, you could still play JV or below. Well, that was a terrible rule. I was at Piedmont at the time. Piedmont was a place that had open enrollment. We had kids from surrounding areas that would ask about coming to Piedmont, but when you used to tell them under the old rule you had to sit a year, a lot of times that discouraged them from moving because they weren't going to move and sit a year. The state basically made that just to be legal a few years back by saying, hey, you don't have to make a bona fide move as long as you play sub-varsity. Well, that's not a good rule. It's not a good rule for the people that benefit from it. It's not a good rule for the people that are losing kids to it. It's not a good rule. The rule was in place to help somebody sit a year. If they wanted to make a move, they had to at least pay that much of a price. And when I was at Piedmont, we benefited from that. Private schools today, they benefit from that rule because a lot of people don't move into those districts. So we've had some rules that have come up over the last few years that have not been good for the whole, and that's one of the major things, in my opinion, that has created all the problems with the excessive numbers of transfers is people aren't having to move. They're just going to a different school and making the drive every day.
Don't you think, though, when it all comes down to making a decision on fixing this, the easiest thing to me seems to be just separating them. I don't think that's a good thing.
Right.
But I think from, if you're sitting in Montgomery in the legislature and things like that, and you just say, well, look, we can't fix it. We've tried. Just separate them.
Well, I'll ask you this. We won't answer it on air right here, but you just ask yourself, where do you think those people's kids go to school? Do you think they go to public school or private school?
They go to private school.
And so you can figure out where they're going to be tilted toward.
Sure.
And then, and if you do separate, well, where do you draw the lines of separating? Are we going to separate just the privates away from the publics? Are we going to separate the city schools away from the county schools? Are we going to separate the schools that have open enrollment from the schools that don't? There's a lot more that goes into it than
now
just
you're just
separate.
Making me dizzy.
But there are advantages to different types of school systems. I mean, I'll readily admit that, but at the end of the day, how are you going to separate it?
All right, tell us who you brought with you tonight.
I brought quarterback Brody Blevins. He's a junior. He's one of our captains. And another one of our captains, Maximus Jones, who's a running back. So Maximus is a senior and Brody is a junior.
What a great football name, Maximus.
Yes. And they also have a Titus, too.
And that's his brother. Titus is his brother. And they got a third brother on the team that's a freshman named Justice.
And lots of Brodies.
We could sit here and talk with you for 3 hours, no problem, but we got to move on.
That's no problem.
Appreciate you coming down, and we plan on seeing you for the playoffs.
That sounds good. Please, I appreciate you having us on.
Yes, sir. We'll get Steve's players in here. James will speak with them when we continue here from Top of the River on the Tuesday night High School Football Coaches Show.
Welcome to Calhoun County, Alabama, your natural attraction. We have invigorating outdoor activities, amazing cultural sites, mouth-watering food, and southern hospitality, all wrapped into one amazing vacation destination. Whether you're looking for a relaxing overnight getaway or for a one-of-a-kind escapade, Calhoun County boasts an incredible selection of outdoor recreational opportunities. Calhoun County is the natural attraction, centrally located between Atlanta and Birmingham, with plenty of fun and memories waiting to be made. Come to Calhoun County, Alabama, a natural attraction.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos. At Griffin Laser Engraving, we make it the way you want it. Order just one or hundreds, and you'll find a full line of Yeti coolers and accessories on hand, even the hard-to-find items. Nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items, Griffin Laser Engraving.
Back from top of the river here in Anniston as we resume our spotlight on the Warriors of Westbrook Christian as the end of the regular season is approaching, but for all of our teams we're featuring tonight, really in a lot of ways with the postseason just around the corner. Really, the season's just getting started as Westbrook Christian about a couple weeks away from what they hope is hosting a first-round home game as they'll take on Weaver on Friday, have a big game to end the season with Walter Welborn next weekend, but they come off of a 34-7 region win against J.B. Pennington at home in the prior week, which I'm really interested in finding out. A historic win for Coach Steve Smith and that thrilling overtime win at Tryon in Georgia to get Coach Smith his 300 career victory. James Hardy back with you as we've got Maximus Jones. That rolls off the tongue so easy, man.
Yeah.
Happy to have you with us, as well as Brody Blevins, junior quarterback, with us. A big thanks for both of you for joining us.
Sir, thank you for having us.
Let's go and pull that microphone up there, my man. There you go. And let's start off with you, Max, as far as just, let's go back a couple of weeks as far as just the overtime win, a thrilling ball game, but really a big milestone as far as for an outstanding coach and Coach Smith. Just kind of talk about as far as that game, but also what it means as far as being able to give Coach that big win number 300.
Yeah, well, first of all, I just want to say we're extremely lucky to have Coach Smith. He's a great coach. He pours into us every single day. And that win was a real, hopefully a program changer. You know, I had a couple years we're just right there, and really hopefully that gets us over the hump.
And then, Brody, an outstanding season for you and your team so far at 7-1, but I imagine still a lot that y'all want to be able to accomplish this year.
Yes, sir. So really our main goal is just to look at the next week and take every game week by week and ultimately just play as best as we can every week, and ultimately we can win every game.
Let's go back a couple of weeks. How special was that night to give Coach Smith his 300th win?
It was amazing. It was amazing to be a part of such an important moment and just to be a part of the team that could get him that win. It was just special.
Now, the last time that we had y'all prior to the Piedmont game, I had a chance to talk with Coach Smith during the week, and you mentioned you'd at least been developing as far as becoming a little more complete quarterback with your passing game. Just kind of talk about your progression as far as just how you've seen yourself improve from last year to this year now in your junior year.
Really, it's more of the mental side of it, just maturing and learning how to read defenses and just seeing progressions downfield and just learn who to throw the ball to and make better completions.
I know that when our Shasta Jones visited with you prior to the Piedmont game, that's something you mentioned as far as the mental side of the game. Just kind of talk about week to week how you prepare for a game.
Just going up to the game, knowing that what I do out on the field is not of my own self or out of my glory, but I do everything for God, and everything I have, I don't have it out of myself, but God gives it to me, and I'm playing for Him and through Him.
Talk about where that influence comes from, especially as far as the faith and the Christian aspect of it.
Growing up, I was raised in a great household. My parents are great parents, great Christian household, and just seeing how they've raised me and how everyone around me who is a Christian just treats others is just something I've always wanted to do.
And then, Max, talk about as far as Brody, how you've seen him not only grow as a football player, but also as a person.
Yeah, Brody's a leader. You know, he leads everywhere he is. He leads in school. He's the smartest kid you'll ever be around. He works hard for everything he has. And he really just sets the tone for everybody, you know. He's only a junior, but senior players look up to him, and he just leads the way for everyone.
I know y'all were really young last year, got more experience, and not only last year, but the year prior as well. Just to kind of talk about as far as just the bonding, as far as really having, maybe taking your lumps for the prior couple of years to so far having what's really been a good year for y'all this year.
Yes, sir. We were pretty young last year. We didn't have too many seniors, but our seniors we had were pretty well. But just the experience we've had now, and we all love playing together. We all get along very well, and we just love working hard every day together, and we just want to be the best for each other.
And then, Brody, do you think y'all as a team are playing some of your best football at the right time of the season?
Yes, sir, 100%. I think each and every week we're getting better, learning how to play better as a team. And just each week we're just getting a lot better.
I'm just going to talk about as far as the week ahead at Weaver for your final regular season road game of the year.
Well, this week we're going to approach it as the same we approach every other week, just going to focus on us, not focus on really what the opponent's doing, trying to be the best that we can be. And if we play to our best, I feel like we can have success.
Where have you seen your team progress this year from the start of the season to now?
Just playing together as a unit. Defense gets stops. Kicking game does good. Special team does good. Offense gets the ball in plus territory. Just playing good complementary football.
And then, Max, we heard tonight also the last time we saw y'all at Piedmont, as far as Brody told us about his mental approach to the game. Just kind of talk about maybe what y'all learned from Brody as far as, hey, what we need to do mentally going into each game.
Yeah, it starts on Monday. Coaches work hard over the weekend. They get a good game plan, and then they just tell us everything. We watch film and really just take it a day at a time, and our preparation is where it's at, and that just gets us ready for the game, and we're ready to play and play free on Friday nights.
I know that y'all don't want to look ahead as far as still a couple of regular season games to go, but I imagine y'all are very excited as far as a couple of weeks. Once you're done with your final 2 regular season games, that, hey, we're going to be able to play in the postseason. How's that?
Yeah, it's really cool, Being a senior, haven't made the playoffs yet, but, we still got 2 games. We really want to host one, so we just got to keep on playing one game at a time and take it and just play well.
And then, Brody, final question for y'all as far as how do y'all want to take these final 2 weeks knowing that, hey, y'all still got a lot of big games coming up in November?
Well, we want to take these 2 games as an opportunity to play our best football games of the season, not to take either of the games lightly at all, but to focus on the things we need to focus on and just playing the best football that we can.
Brody Blevins, along with Maximus Jones, a big thanks, and I imagine we'll be seeing y'all here pretty soon for the postseason.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Still a little bit of hardware to award as far as our FNN Player of the Week, courtesy of Talladega Short Track, as we'll have Coach Jonathan Nix, as well as a few of the Pleasant Valley Raiders come up in the final 30 minutes of tonight's edition of the FNN Coaches Show. And don't forget to download the FNN Network app as far as viewing live and on demand tonight's Coaches Show, as well as all of our games on the FNN app. More to come after this.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns, locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
And welcome back to the Tuesday Night High School Football Coaches Show from Top of the River here in Anniston. Jim Jacobs, Joe Medley, and to my immediate left, the head football coach of the Pleasant Valley Raiders, Coach Jonathan Nix, for the second time this season. That's got to be a sign it's a good year, Coach.
It is a good year, for sure.
We were just talking before we came on air about the game with North Sand Mountain last week, and 35 unanswered points after you fall down 20-7.
Yep.
Just talk about the conversations that were on the sideline there when it was 20-7, and just kind of what the feeling was like and what brought about that outburst.
And definitely, I mean, it started as bad as it can, as a game can start. They take the opening kickoff and they run that back, and third snap from scrimmage, we throw an interception. They run that back to 7 or 8 yard line, and then they wind up punching that in. So we're down 14-0, and it's 90 seconds going off the clock. And, but during that right there, the players were still calm. I mean, they were more aggravated with each other on doing your assignments and finishing. So the talk was just, hey, settle down and play. And on the next one, I mean, North Sand Mountain's only, I think they had 5 or 6 punts coming into that game. They hadn't given up any first half points that year. So we forced a 3-and-out on the next one, and Braxton was able to slip through and block a punt and scoop and score. And so we thought, all right, that's getting us back into it. Now we're 14-7, and they come right back and answer again. So now we're 20-7, and then from that, there was some adjustments made on the D-line and as far as our fronts. And Coach Ward and Coach Muncher and Coach Parker really did a good job of getting the defense settled down over there, making sure you're reading your keys. I just think that our players were so excited to play that game. They felt like they had so much to prove that sometimes you can get yourself too worked up. And then once we, settled down on that and started reading our keys and playing our style of football, I mean, it was we scored 14 in the second quarter and 21 in the third. And, it's the best 2 quarters of football that I've seen.
Coach, I think that, in situations like that, the mark of a really solid team that can do some things in November is that you guys didn't panic. I
That's
mean,
right.
When you go down 20-7 and it's a big game, a less experienced team or seasoned team tends to panic and try to get it all back, and you guys didn't do that.
Yeah, and you got to give hats off to the players for that too, staying calm in that situation. And so many of these the juniors that are on our team right now. When we played Pisgah 2 years ago, I think we started 8 freshmen that night, and then Braxton and Nick Acker were both had concussions from week 10, so they didn't even get to play in the game. And so, that was 9 besides them. So these guys have went through some fire, and I think in some of those losses that we've had, this team seems to learn each time. And so, when this situation happened like this, you could tell we were calm. And then each time we scored, we just seen a little more. And they really got excited when, North Sand Mountain started arguing with each other a little bit. And, and when that happens and players recognize that, and then you're coming to the sideline and say, we got them right where we want them, Coach. We just got to keep hitting them. And I think there's something to that, when they believe in that belief.
You mentioned that was one of the best atmospheres you've seen at Pleasant Valley in your time there. And what was that? How much did that?
He came over here giving me guff about it.
Yeah. Hey, I want to brag on my people too now. I'm telling you, Raider Stadium was rocking.
And how much did that help you all when you're down 20-7?
It really did.
And the ball starts rolling your direction.
Oh, there's no doubt. And like this week, we let some of the youth coaches that coach these same kids come and talk to them in pregame. Our meal Thursday night. And to me, that's what it's all about, because none of these players got to where they are, without people helping them. And I want, it is a community. And, and we've been following this crew right here for a long time. And, they've got great parents that support, and they've got great, enthusiasm. And sometimes enthusiasm breeds enthusiasm. When you expect to win and you expect to be loud and you expect to do things right, it just bleeds in. It makes coaching a whole lot of fun,
I think, Coach, you're talking about the atmosphere at your place. I think that Pleasant Valley falls into one of those categories. Like if you go to that game this past Friday, you could go back 20 years and come to that game, and it's still the same. It's old school community football.
Yeah. It is, and it's a great place. And these players have made so many people proud, of their hard work and how much they put into the offseason. And you have to have leaders that buy into that. And I think last year in the Sulligent game, when they were asked, like, hey, what direction do we go now? And when Jaden and Braxton both sit there and said, hey, our goal next year is 10-0. And and a lot of people looks at that and goes, man, they're trying to set a goal for 10-0. But they said in that interview, what it's going to take to go 10-0. We've got to get in the weight room. We've got to get stronger. And it was all we over me. It wasn't one that they singled out. And so that's what to me is so special about this group right here is they buy into each other. And you can just tell their love for each other and their love for football.
You've been there a while now. Is this thing built to last?
Definitely. I mean, our junior high, at one point we loaded everybody up on the bus and took them to cookout because, I mean, that's the thing nowadays. These kids love that. So it was a victory meal, and at the time the junior high was 5-1 and the varsity was 5-1. And so, I mean, I think the way the junior high is seeing, this is how you prep, and this is, and none of this happened by itself. I mean, we've got, 4 years ago there was 4 coaches coaching 7 through 12. It was probably the roughest year. And now, I mean, we have built that to where there's 3 paid varsity, 3 paid junior high coaches and 6 paid on varsity. So we've got a staff of 9. Then we've got some volunteers. I mean, our players are getting coached hard, but they're getting loved hard, and you're seeing results from that.
The goal was 10-0, 9-1 still out there, and 9 would set the school record. Just how much is that being talked about this week? How much? What would that mean to everybody? Just at that in the regular season, especially.
Yeah. It's definitely been talked about. I mean, we, each week we, and what's great about this team too, on Mondays, they really don't want to watch highlights. They'll come in and say, Coach, break us down like 5 or 6 plays on offense, defense, and special teams that we have to improve on. And I love that as a coach because, like we can sit there and say, oh, look at this play, what we did. But, this team wants to know, hey, what do we need to improve on? And so we kind of broke that down on Monday and said, hey, here's what you've got to do to beat section. Here's what you've got to do in order, if you want to go get that 9th win, there's nothing easy about it. Here's what you've got to go correct.
But, Coach, all of the good coaches with the good programs all say it's great when the kids can run the show.
There's no doubt. Great teams are led by players.
Yep.
And, coaches, they're a part of it and they're helping. But, I can't brag on this coaching staff enough. I mean, they put in a ton of hours. They love these players. And I think our players see that, and that kind of feeds into that. And so, it's just a special group. But you're right. It all starts with players. It's not your X's and O's. It's those Jimmys and Joes.
After the Woodland game, and we were talking about Jaden Sparks. He had the knee injury against Pittsburgh. You said he was going to try to come back from that. Yep. I noticed in a picture I saw from Friday night that he was in uniform. Where does that stand? How is he doing right now?
He's doing great. He's playing with a torn ACL, and this was the MVP of the region last year. And and it's his senior. He's one of those seniors that's been playing since he was in the 8th grade, and you hated to see an injury like that occur in that game, and I really think that took a lot of breath out of us in that game, and then we was able to fight back. But having him back now, and cleared to play D-line and outside linebacker, and he's doing good. I mean, here's the thing: he's got a torn ACL. We timed him at a 4.9 40. 3 long jumps and 9 something. I mean, like, he's faster with a torn ACL than a lot of kids are with 2 healthy
Ride
ACLs.
that horse, Coach.
And
Ride that horse.
But hats off to him for wanting to go out like that. And I was just, we said that at our pregame meal. How proud we were for all of them. I mean, we had one kid, our tight end, Brody Barnwell. He was out last week, but everybody on the team was back and healthy. And Brody's actually getting to come back this week. So, that's what is so special to me, to see a senior or see any kid get to finish that season, get to be out there in a helmet and not watching.
How do you prepare for November? I mean, that's kind of foreign ground for your group. So, if you want to be around come Thanksgiving, what do you have to do between now and then? Because as you see the schedule there on the screen, the regular season hay's pretty much in the barn for you guys. How do you get ready for November?
Well, I think we've got to just keep doing what we're doing right now this week and make sure that we finish strong and not let any slip-ups or anything like that occur. And then you got to realize, like, what got you to this point. What are your top plays of the year and who are your top players of the year, and how do you get How do you get more sound at those things? And there's things where I felt like at the first of the year, I wish we could play Pisgah at the end of the season instead of the first. They did a great job of formation. They got us in several formations.
You might get your wish, Coach.
I might get my wish. And, we just didn't do a good job of adjusting. I mean, we busted 4 coverages, and when I'm talking busted, I'm talking like guys are wide open. And I think a lot of that was our youth. We did have some kids that came back out for football that were off a couple of years, but sometimes when you're off, you lose that. You lose that being put in the fire. You lose that, I've got to make quick decisions. And since then, I'll say that group has worked their tail off, and that they are so much more sound. And that's one thing that I love about this team. If they make a mistake, they own it, and they get to work, and they hold each other accountable to fix it.
Talk about Braxton just a little bit before we get him up here to do the Player of the Week deal. What does he mean to your football team?
There's no doubt. I mean, he is everything that this football program is about. I mean, he's a hard worker. Not only in the end season. Everybody right now is excited about football. But he's excited about being a great player all year long. He loves the weight room. He loves the game. He's always studying it. And sometimes, it's tough during the summer, when you see these kids, they're going, vacation here, vacation there. And you can tell a lot about how much a kid really loves football when that summer comes around and it's their time. What are they doing with their time? How much of it is still devoted to that sport. And I think he's a next level player. I mean, I really do, just because his love for the game, how much it means to him, how hard he works. And our players see that. Our coaches see that. And, and we talk about sometimes, hey, when times are grim, you need a grim reaper. All right. And look, when it's 20-7,
you need a
grim reaper.
I think it was like we said in our write-up. You pulled him over and said, "Hey, it's go time."
It's go time. You need somebody. And we say this, hey, a lot of these kids, they love bonfires. They love, it's just a country setting. Well, when you have a big bonfire, somebody's got to light that thing. Somebody's got to light it. Yep. Everybody's going to enjoy it, but somebody's got to light it. And he's one of those that lights the program.
And he seems to have a lot of different ways to light it. He did it with a block punt the other night. When I get the stats from your games, I'll see 5 touchdowns, but I'll also see the defensive contribution as well. Can you kind of wrap your arms around the total contribution there?
Yeah, I mean, he's so versatile. I mean, here's a prime example. I mean, he turned his ankle bad. He's celebrating. He's celebrating a touchdown at the end with another player and comes down. It's the first time he's ever turned his ankle. And, I mean, his ankle swelled up bad. I was thinking, how many weeks is he going to be out? But, man, he went to work on rehabbing, and he was there the next week. We never rolled him out of the pocket. The plan was just to hand the ball to Vic that game, and I think Vic had 30 carries that game. It was the Woodland game. Mm-hmm. But what he found out is he's also a pocket quarterback. He had to be in the pocket that game because he couldn't scramble as much. And, he wound up throwing for 180 yards or so. So, I mean, it's just one of those things like last year when he breaks his wrist, what does he go to? He goes to running back. So I think at whatever he does and whatever school picks him up, and wherever he goes, I mean, there's just no telling what position he'll be at the next level.
Coach,
just because he loves football so much.
Passion cannot be denied.
That's right. That's right.
Tell us who his sidekicks are you brought along with him tonight, and we'll get those gentlemen up here and do the Player of the Week and finish this evening off.
Definitely. They are definitely 2 sidekicks for sure. Number 5, Cooper Dougal's with him, and that's his best friend for sure. And, Cooper's one of those guys that's just elusive. I mean, he's got punt returns. He's got kickoff returns. He's hard to cover in the slot. And a lot of teams pick on him each week because of his size, but, he comes up strong each week. And, and the other one's Caden Vick. Caden Vick has been a monster this year at running back. Last year we felt towards the end of the year he was getting better and better, but he had an injury that held him out about 8 weeks where he hurt his leg. And so I think right now we're seeing him at his, peaking, and anytime you can carry the ball 30 times in a game for over 200 yards, you are a workhorse. And he's made some plays this year. Just proud of both of them and what they mean. But there's so many leaders on this team, and just so thankful for all of them.
Thanks again, Coach, for coming back.
Yes, sir. I appreciate being here and talking about Pleasant Valley.
Hopefully the Raiders will be around come turkey time.
Yes, that sounds like a plan to me.
They say in football there's nothing like playing after Thanksgiving.
No, that's correct.
All right, we're going to grab a quick break. James will jump in. He'll present Braxton with the Player of the Week and talk with his two teammates as well when we wrap things up from Top of the River here tonight on FNN.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
Our final segment tonight on the FNN Coaches Show here from Top of the River. James Hardy with you. And a quick reminder, don't forget, we got another big game ahead of us this Friday, a return trip to Odenville as St. Clair County takes on Jacksonville. As the winner of a Friday night's game here on FNN will have an opportunity to host a first-round home game in the 5A playoffs, a matchup between Jacksonville and St. Clair County over in Odenville. James Hardy back with you as we roll on to, speaking of the finish line, the final segment tonight here from Top of the River. And we've got a little hardware to roll out as we continue our focus on the Pleasant Valley Raiders. And in fact, let's just go ahead and not waste any time because we have some hardware to give to Braxton Salster as our FNN Player of the Week, courtesy of Talladega Short Track.
Thank you. Thank you.
Talk about the performance from Friday night in especially a top 10 matchup, a lot on the line in region play. Big game at home, and y'all got it done. Talk about the game.
I mean, going into the game, we knew what was at stake. We lose, we don't host a playoff game. We win, we have the chance. And so going in, we knew what was on the line, and we just had people come up and make plays. And so, I mean, our offensive line played a great game, getting penetration downfield. We had some receivers blocking downfield. I mean, everybody was doing their job.
But I imagine how nervous was the moment in the ball game when y'all were down, though, 20-7?
I mean, I felt like everybody stayed a little under control. I mean, yes, it wasn't how we went to plan. It wasn't what we wanted to happen, but everybody stayed under control, and we knew that we just we needed one play to get us going, and we got that play, and everybody just started rolling from there.
Was that one of the funnest games you've been a part of?
Yes, sir, without a doubt.
What made it such a fun game?
Everybody was energetic. We had the crowd going. I mean, everybody was just rolling. And then once we got a roll starting in the second quarter, I mean, it was just like we were just having fun again. It wasn't like we were worrying about anything.
We'll get to your 5 touchdowns in a moment, but let's bring in Cooper. How fun was that atmosphere Friday night, especially pulling off a big comeback to get an important win?
It was definitely the loudest I've ever heard Pleasant Valley in my entire life, for sure. And it was a really fun game to be a part of, especially watching Braxton do what he does and watch Vic run the ball how he does. It was really exciting.
What makes Braxton such a special football player?
I think just his leadership. That's really a big thing with him because he's always been a leader. He's been a leader since we were really young, so it's really just been a thing since he was leading up to now.
Let's get Caden in. So let's go and give him the microphone here. Caden, a fun night, big win Friday night. How fun has the season been for y'all?
Oh, it's been great. I love it. The team loves it. It's been really physical. Yeah.
I know Coach Nix mentioned as far as about this time last year you were really starting to make those strides as far as your improvement as a football player. Just talk about that journey for you, how you've been able to get better as a football player.
Yes, sir. I've just been learning more in the off season. I've been working really hard for it. I just wanted to be a better teammate for my teammates and everything, and I think I did pretty good at it.
What do you feel learned from Braxton as far as just being an effective football player?
I learned that he loves contact. I learned that he can be a good pocket quarterback. I know that for sure. But yeah, he's a good leader. He's a good motivator. He's good.
Everything you'd want in a football player. In Braxton, over 200 yards rushing, 5 touchdowns, a block punt, pretty much did everything. Was there, especially among those 5 touchdowns, that really stood out to you from Friday?
The block punt. We were down. We needed a play to get some momentum, and we got that play. We blocked the punt. Jaden Sparks picks up a great block, gives me a good lane to go and pick up the ball, scoop it and score it, and I feel like from there we just took that momentum and we just went with it.
One of those difference-making plays, I imagine, that helped y'all catapult to victory.
Yes, sir.
Talk about coming up your final regular season game, but still an important region game as far as potentially likely even, especially with a win, to secure a first-round home game in a couple of weeks.
Yes, sir. I mean, Section's got a good team this year. They've been doing some things that they haven't done in the past. So we just for sure got to be on top of our game, go over there, take care of business, and we just got things to look forward to. And we know that they're playing for something just like we're playing for something. So
I know we've kind of mentioned the last couple of years with y'all. Y'all have grown up in the program, grown up in the community, a lot of experience as far as all of y'all in the Pleasant Valley football program. How much did that experience as far as being through those wars week in and week out the last 3 seasons, especially in that big game y'all had against North Sand Mountain, how much did that help y'all come from behind and eventually get to that finish line with a win?
I think it helped us tremendously. I mean, in the past, there's been times where we go down early in the game, like Sulligent last year. We were all very young still, and we go down in the game. We have some people that didn't play much the year before, so we go down early in the game, and it was just like we couldn't get anything going, couldn't get no momentum, and we were all, from the start, we were all just kind of hanging our heads, didn't know what to do, and especially last week, I mean, we got down early, but it was like nobody was hanging their heads, nobody was saying, oh, we can't come back from this, we can't do this. Everybody was like, hey, let's just go make a play and let's go get this thing going.
Caden, what's been the message from the coaches this week, especially going into your final game of the regular season?
Oh, it's been we knew what was at stake, and we came in. We knew they was going to be really physical, and we tried to match our energy. But unluckily, they did that little kickoff return there. But I mean, nobody was really nervous. Nobody was. I feel like we was good under control, and I knew what our team is made of, and I knew how physically we could make them. So
let's bring Cooper back in as we're just about to the finish line ourselves for tonight. Cooper, as far as, hey, I know one regular season game, but I imagine y'all still have a lot of football to go in November. How much are y'all looking forward to not only getting back out on the field Friday night, but knowing that, hey, there's still very well may be some consequential games for y'all coming up in November?
I know that this year it's been fun, and this week at Section we're going to win, and I'm just happy that we get to play more at home. We get to play more home games after that. Like, we still get to come back to Pleasant Valley and play one more for them and keep winning on into the playoffs.
And then, Braxton, what's the message been from the coaches as far as the approach for this week?
Go and finish. We started this season with a goal. We lost early, but we still had another goal. We still had a goal to make Pleasant Valley history. Nobody's ever went with 9-1. And so this week, we know what's at stake. So we just got a goal of finish the year off strong.
Well, I think that's a great way to end it off for tonight as far as that finishing mantra, because, hey, don't forget for us, back on the air Friday when it comes to our countdown to kickoff, presented by Bama Sheds in Odenville for St. Clair County in Jacksonville, a critical 5A Region 6 showdown to see who will get that final playoff spot out of Region 6 coming up, 6:30 our airtime, and 7 o'clock, of course, when Toe meets Leather. A big thanks to Westbrook Christian, Pleasant Valley, as well as Spring Garden. And, of course, once again, congratulations to Braxton Salster on taking home our Player of the Week, courtesy of Talladega Short Tracks. So, for Joe Medley, Jim Jacobs, and our FNN crew, James Hardy wishing you a great Tuesday evening as you have been watching the FNN Coaches Show from Top of the River in Anniston.